For today's in-depth review, we will actually be looking at our first minion, and he is one of the handiest characters in the game, pun completely intended there. It is of course Hand Sentry. Now in the video we'll start off looking at how you unlock him and also his tags. We'll then check out his stats, we'll follow that up by looking at his abilities. Next up it's his synergies, that's the characters he can work well with or enemies you want to avoid, and then we'll see where he places in the tier list as well. So first off, let's have a look at where you go to unlock him and his tags. So Hand Sentry is a protector class then, but he's a protector class with a twist. He doesn't rely on the conventional taunt, and this is actually what makes him so powerful. Now when we look at his tags, he's got some pretty useful ones here. You've got Villain, City, Mystic, Protector, Hand, Martial Artist, and then finally we've got Minion as well. So that's the first time we will have seen this tag, being this is the first minion we've actually covered. The useful tags are Mystic for that campaign, he really can help you through that, and also the City tag will be useful in the next few weeks because the Miss Marvel event will be based around city based characters. When we look at how you unlock them, for a long time it was purely the raid store, that was your main source or your only source of shards for them. With the Mystic campaign now open, you can actually farm them through Mystic 3.6 as well. It will be pretty tough to actually 3-star this, but it's without a doubt worth the effort. Now next up, let's have a look at his stats. So we have a wide variety of ranges here when we look at the offensive stats. Now his damage is way down at F, but that's not really a problem because he's not there to put out damage at all, he's there to protect your team. His speed is coming in at 103, so that's a C rating. Now his speed is really quite important because you want to get his special off as soon as possible, and the higher speed he has, the higher chance he has of firing that off before his ability blocked or nuked or stunned or anything like that. So the speed rating does actually work in his favour because he's faster than a lot of heroes that can block him down. When we look at his focus, it's way up at A, so this would determine how likely he is to apply debuffs. The only issue is he doesn't have any debuffs, so although he's got high focus, it's not really relevant to his kit at all. Now let's have a look at his defensive stats. For his defensive stats, he really does well here, but that is to be expected for a protector class. His health is way up at an A rating, his armour is B, now his resistance is F, meaning that he will be very susceptible to debuffs, but one thing he's got in his kit, and this actually helps him out quite often, is the fact that you can get up to 20% block through his passive. Now I've seen on numerous occasions where I'm trying to apply ability block using vision on him for example, and he wouldn't be able to resist that at all, but in a lot of occasions you'll actually see him block it instead, so you don't have to worry too much about low resistance. That block can really help out a ton there. Now with the stats covered, let's have a look at his abilities. For the abilities here then, we actually only have 3 to look at rather than our usual 4, so it's the passive, the basic and just the special, because minions don't have an ultimate at all. Now I'll show off the tooltip for each of them maxed out. The information is available on msf.gg, and then I'll let you know how high you want to upgrade each of the abilities. Now the passive first, this is called Way of the Scorpion. When it's maxed out, so that's level 5, you gain 20% block chance and 10% damage. I would say it's worthwhile maxing this out because that will give you the full 20% block chance. If you stop at level 4, you're only getting the 15%, and you want to get this as high as possible to make up for that low resistance that he has. For the basic, we have a really simple skill here, one of the shortest tooltips I've seen yet. It's Psy Strike. So with this you attack the primary target for 340% damage, and that's it. That's all it actually does. Now because Hand Sentry is really there to provide survivability and not damage, I would say you only need to take this up to level 5 because the jump from level 5 to 6 is only 40% damage, but it will cost you 120 of the purple ability mats, and I don't feel that is worthwhile at all. So just take this one up to level 5. So if you're not too familiar with Hand Sentry, you will possibly be wondering, 4 minutes into the video he looks pretty underwhelming, but this is where we now cover the special, and this one ability is what makes him so awesome. So it's called Smoke Bomb. It's a low 3 turns to charge, and you can and will want to use it at the start of a fight. With this, you apply stealth to all allies except self for 2 turns. So normal tanks will put up a taunt which can be cleansed. This can't be cleansed, that's what makes it so good. But on top of this, you actually apply evade to all allies as well, and that's all allies, so you could have a full team of minions, they're all getting stealthed bar the Hand Sentry, and they're all getting evade on them. So as long as the enemy doesn't fire off an AoE straight afterwards and eat all those stacks of evade up, then it provides a exceptional amount of survivability for your team, and it's got the low 3-turn cooldown as well, so really incredible skill here. Now I would say that without a doubt you want to max this one out, because when it's maxed out that will give you the stealth for the 2 turns and evade to all allies as well. Now with the abilities covered, let's have a look at his synergies. When it comes to characters that Hand Sentry can work well with, he really can fit into and provide a ton of survivability for any team. Now if you look at characters that not only gain survivability but can get extra bonuses from them, you'd firstly have Electra, Nobu and Hand Archer, 3 characters that have the hand tag and its various synergies they have there. Next up we have Spider-Man and Wasp. Now the reason they are here is Spider-Man on his passive, once we get the orange mats to upgrade it, he actually gains 10% speed bar on dodge, but the way dodge works it's the same as evade, so if you put evade on him through Hand Sentry, he's guaranteed to evade the next attack and that will give him 10% speed bar. Same applies for Wasp. On her special, that can change when she dodges or evades the skill, so that it changes from a regular attack into a stun attack, so that can be a really nice combo there. Finally, due to the fact that Hand Sentry's stealth and evade applies to all allies, he can work really nice in a minion team, because minions are normally one-shotted. With Hand Ally, they're taking 2 shots there, so Yondu and Loki would be 2 great examples there. Now, next up, let's have a look at the characters you want to avoid. When we look at characters you want to avoid, there's really not that many counters to Hand Sentry. It's all about applying ability block before he can fire off his special. Now characters that can do that would be Vision, due to his high attack speed. You've got Korath as well, although Korath only has a 50% chance to apply ability block, so it is a bit of a gamble. You then have the combination of Cable and Ant-Man. So Ant-Man can apply 2 turns of ability block, but he's not actually faster than Hand Sentry, so you would need to put Cable in that team as well, because he increases his speed bar at the start of a fight there, so that could work out and be a means to actually block him. And then finally, in a roundabout way, we do have Wasp. Now I feel Wasp was introduced as a counter for Hand Sentry, but she doesn't fully work, because on Wasp's ultimate she will hit stealth targets, but the whole thing with Hand Sentry's special is that it will apply evade and stealth. So what will actually happen is if you fire off Wasp's attack straight away, all the characters will simply evade it and it's been wasted. So you want to fire off an AoE first, so the likes of Punisher or Iron Man for example, to eat up all the stacks of evade, and then you can use Wasp's attack and it will hit all the stealth targets. So that's something you need to bear in mind. It takes a bit of management to work through his defences. That's the reason why he's so good really. Now with the synergies covered, let's see where he places in the tier list. So being a minion then, Hand Sentry really is a very simple character, and he is a one-trick pony, but that trick he has is exceptionally good. Now if we look at his pros and cons before we do place him, you've got in the cons list the fact that his basic is very simple, it's just pure damage. He's got a pretty simple passive, although the block can come in useful, and in a way it does counter his low resistance. And then if we look at his pros, it's just all really about that smoke bomb. It can give so many teams so much trouble, and when playing through the recent campaigns that have come out that have been really difficult, I don't think it would be possible without the Hand Sentry at all. It really is fantastic, and that's the reason that he is the first minion I'm actually covering here. Now, as much as I say that he is absolutely fantastic, I wouldn't actually say he's an Omega character, because I don't feel that a character that has only a basic, a special and a passive and is missing the ultimate could ever fall into the Omega tier, no matter how good the one trick that we've mentioned they have is. So for that reason I would say that Hand Sentry is an alpha, based character. He is without a doubt worth a farm, he's exceptionally useful, and he actually forms one of my main arena and blitz teams as well. That's how good he is, a minion that's up there fighting alongside the best of named characters in the game. So hope this was interesting, this one, something a little bit different, covering a minion. I will in time cover the Merc Lieutenant minion as well, because he's another minion that is exceptionally good there. But let me know in the comments below what you think of Hand Sentry, if you're farming him, how you're getting on with the farm. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.